What's going on, good people? You already know it's your boy Smooth. Y'all see the banner up there. It's the fans' perspective on Sundays. Now, it says 10 p.m. Normally, every other week our show's at 10. Tonight is at 9. Dame couldn't make it tonight. He's stuck at work handling grown man business. So it is what it is. I'm here Dolo holding it down. So we're gonna run through a few topics, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all here too long. Uh, so first one I want to get to is last night, Tyrone Woodley and Jake Paul fight. Listen, as a diehard fan of boxing, I think it's almost comical that this dude getting that much pub for fighting non-boxers, and he's making money. But the one thing I liked about last night's fight is it proves the difference between the two sports, MMA and boxing. They don't, the skill set isn't transferable at all. We seen that with Floyd and Connor. You feel me? Floyd was just toying with him the whole fight. We seen that last night with Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. It wasn't even, it was a no contest, man. No contest, man. He knocked that man out cold, flat out. That was worse than what he did to Nate Robinson, in my opinion. That was definitely worse than what he did to Nate Robinson. Who else fought last night? You had Frank Gore and Darren Williams. Frank Gore, the former San Francisco 49ers running back. Darren Williams from Utah Jazz and fame, former All-Star NBA guard. Listen, they was rocking. They was rocking. They was out there. It wasn't too much skill, but they was out there brawling. At one point in the fight, you thought Frank Gore didn't know if he was still boxing or not. He got punched and act like he was surprised. It was comical. It was comical. I take that for all entertainment. I don't take it's for real. I think it's fun, but for the sport of boxing, I really think they have a problem because it's becoming more of a spectacle than respecting the sweet science of the sport. You got fighters out there like Bud Crawford, Errol Spence Jr., and Canelo, and people talking about Jake Paul as a boxer just as much as they're talking about him, and it shouldn't be that way because he's not even on a level, nowhere close to being on a level. So that right there needs to change. So I just wanted to touch on that. Like I said, it's entertaining, it's fun to watch, but can't take it serious at all. So what else I want to run it through? I want to talk about the NBA and all the first off, the Brooklyn Nets. We're gonna talk about Kyrie. First off, Kyrie is allowed to come back and play on all road games for the Brooklyn Nets. So the Brooklyn Nets agreed to that with him. So all road games except for I believe games in Canada or Toronto, and I think another spot that he can't play in, but can't play in no home games. Nothing. Even though he just came back, he had to immediately go into COVID protocols. So many players are in COVID protocols now that they actually postponed 3 games tonight. 3 games tonight. Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, so many players caught it that they had to shut it down. I'm watching the Lakers and Chicago Bulls game right now. A lot of quite a few players from off the Lakers, even their coach is in COVID protocol. Same thing with Chicago Bulls. Zach LaVine and a couple other players in COVID protocols. They signed. The Lakers had to sign Isaiah Thomas to a 10-day contract. You feel me? He actually led them in scoring last game, even though they got blown out. They're losing right now, 52-57. But I'm glad IT getting another chance within the league, get him to show his skills. So if he don't last with them, hopefully another team will see that he still got it and pick him up and he can rock out with them. Talk about Steph Curry. Steph Curry recently just broke Ray Allen, Jesus Shuttlesworth's 3-point record. He did it in half the damn time. Steph Curry, I think, is widely known, respect. Everybody know he's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. To me, numbers, you don't even need the numbers to verify that. You could just, the eye test confirms it. Off the dribble, off screens, down screens, spot up, however you want it, range. His range is unlimited. So, you know what I mean, he's the greatest shooter of all time. Reason why I don't believe numbers mean anything because Draymond Green just recently made the great point. He's like the clip at which threes are being the 3-point shots being shot at the moment. You got players shooting 10, 12 threes a game normally now. So it's just those numbers is going to be wildly different. Come, what's up, Sonny? What's up, Sonny? How you? So them numbers going to, I'm on here dolo. So them numbers going to look completely different in about 5 to 10 years. Like his record going to be shattered at some point, because he's still going. He leading right now. He my leader in MVP rankings right now. Got KD number 2, Jokic number 3. I don't think DeMar DeRozan, he's getting a lot. Man, I want to give him some love because he got the Bulls right there in the thick of things. I got him up there in my MVP because he been balling out when the games from him leading up. So shout out to him too. But back to Steph. It was Mark Jackson made a statement years ago that Steph Curry ruined the game. Now, even though, he caught flack for it in the beginning, people finally understood what he meant because they didn't understand what he meant by that. I mean, at that time, what he meant is now you got so many teams out here shooting threes and so many players who shouldn't be shooting threes shooting it. And it kind of make the game hard to watch sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, come on, man. There's a lot of bad possessions in basketball now. And even though the 3-point shot makes up for it, it makes the game hard to watch. It's not too much ball movement. One thing what people got lost with when watching the Golden State Warriors with Steph and Clay is that it was a lot of ball movement still, a lot of man and ball movement. So the game with them flows, and they was always top 5 defensively as they are now. So that's what made them tough. Now you got teams coming out and you got dudes shooting threes who shouldn't be shooting threes, who percentages is crazy low, out there shooting 8 to 10 threes a game. And it just makes it look like bad basketball, man. A lot of wasted possessions, in my opinion. You feel me? So that's how I feel like Steph ruined the game because so many players try to beat him. Then you got all these young kids growing up. I was just watching the clip earlier. It was showing the dude in the high school game. Young boy did the same thing. Steph all we do, shoot the ball, turn around. Like his impact, it's all throughout the basketball world. But is it all good? And it's not his fault. It's not his fault at all. But I blame coaches that's allowing that. But that's that. Football. I wish my boy Dane was on here so we could talk about his Detroit Lions today. Did something nobody expected them to do. The worst by far, the Detroit Lions. If Willie listen, I'm sorry, man. I don't even know if you're a Detroit Lions fan, but that's where y'all rep. They trash. But today we're going to get them their roses. They whooped on the 10-3 Arizona Cardinals. Nobody expected that. I bet that killed everybody ticket. That was a for sure win on everybody ticket today. I guarantee you, HR Live, whoever did bet on them, and listen, let me tell you, they eating right now. Because nobody expected that. Now, back to COVID affecting the sports world. A couple NFL games is postponed as well. Our Philadelphia Eagles, they play the Washington football team. Their game is postponed till Tuesday at 7. I believe it's another game. I'm slacking right now. I'm supposed to have this information on deck. Another game that's postponed till Tuesday as well. But that's let you know it's 3 games postponed due to COVID outbreaks. And, you know, I think at some point, at some point, both leagues might shut down. Both leagues might shut down because you want everything to get settled. I think the NBA should definitely shut down for for a couple weeks. I'm sorry, y'all. I was sitting here trying to find out uh, the games that all the games that were postponed. But in my opinion, I feel like quite a few. I mean, excuse me. There's been too many players from all these sports going into these COVID protocols. Got this new variant, so I think in due time, they're gonna shut it down, and I think they should shut it down for like a month. Get it out of here for like a month. Let everything the dust settle. The reason why I believe the NBA should do it because they was the first ones to set it off last time, and they should lead the pack this time because it's affecting them the worst. It's affecting them the worst, and so that's that. What else I want to run through? What else I want to run through? Matter of fact, I want to get to something that they was talking about on a little Twitter debate. Little Twitter debate. So all y'all know I stay in them tweet streets, them Twitter streets. So we was talking about comparing uh, basketball players or comparing previous generations to this generation and why it's fair and why it's not fair, you know, and how the older guys from previous generation judged these younger guys. And it wasn't just about basketball; it was about football too. And one of the arguments I was making is like in the football, it's hard to compare, man, because with me, everybody be like Tom Brady the goat, Tom Brady the goat quarterback. Like, all right, cool. I feel like he the goat winner as far as when it comes to winning. But when you talking about the skill at quarterback, to me, he was never the best. And a lot of his numbers and a lot of his accolades that he's accumulating over these latter parts in his career is due to the rule changes. You feel me? Like players like Joe Montana, Dan Marino, uh, like they was getting killed. You feel me? It was no mercy on them boys out there on that football field. But now you got TB12. Even though he nice, but he don't got to deal with all that. He mentioned that in one of his interviews recently too. It's like it's much easier to play now. So to me, like the numbers and all that really don't mean much. Well, you can't. I don't want to say don't mean much, but you can't compare them because it's a different grading scale. So same thing with basketball. Everybody always want to compare. To me, like the rule changes, uh, the athletes, that like it's so hard to compare errors. It's so hard to compare errors. To me, it's basically preference. So I grew up watching '90s basketball, '90s, early 2000s. That's my favorite era of basketball. To me, in this era, I feel like the individual players are more skilled in the NBA, but they're not necessarily smarter. The way the game is played today, like I was just mentioning earlier, it's too many threes, too many wasted possessions. It's not entertaining for a person like me to watch, as it was when I was growing up or in my younger years in the early 2000s and the 90s. It was a much more physical game as well, but a much more fluid game. You know what I mean? It was more to me ball movement, player movement. Now it's just you see everybody standing around going one on one, pulling for a three, high screen and roll. That's it. That's everybody offense. What makes Golden State so ill, and they runs like they really didn't have no offense, but they always moving. Everybody always setting screens. So it's like that's why they so far ahead. Everybody. That's why GM mentioned that earlier. But when you compare them to yesteryears, like I don't think that style of play will go well in a yeah, I feel like you gotta give them their props without comparing. I feel exactly. You gotta give them their props. You know, for instance, I feel like just compare people to their era and their greatness in their era and leave it at that. In football, the athletes in the 60s and 70s aren't like the athletes now. Same thing in basketball. The athletes then as overall aren't the same as there is now. But and then the game difference. You feel me? The rules changes. So when they be talking about Wilt numbers, it's like, all right, I just go by the eye test with Wilt. I know Wilt was a phenomenal athlete. You feel me? That man ran track. He was a high jumper. Like he was light years ahead of his time. But his competition wasn't for the most part. So his numbers look crazy. His numbers still be the same way now as they was then? I don't think so. Will he be as dominant still, or will he have the same impact? I don't know. But I feel like athletically he can still compete, but I don't know if his numbers would be the same. So like I don't really like to compare numbers. Uh, what else has happened over these last 2 weeks? Switch it up. Uh, let's get back to football. We're gonna get back to Urban Meyer. For those who've been following Urban Meyer was the coach. Just got fired. He was NFL coach. He come from Chargers. He had drafted. Excuse me, not the Chargers, the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was their coach. Uh, Urban Meyer was an incredible college coach. Ohio State and Florida. Hella national championships, hella victories, but it didn't translate well. It didn't. Like he had a rocky 13 games in the NFL because that's just how long his career lasted in the NFL. I don't think he'll ever get a job again in the NFL. Will he get a job again in college? Who knows? But it was a lot of craziness surrounding him in Jacksonville. Some nonsense. So recently it was reported that you know he kicked he kicked his kicker during the preseason while the kicker was warming up, and then when the kicker was like, "You can't do that," he's like, I mean, I am who I am. I can do anything I want, so to speak. So uh, one night after a game, after a loss, when the team was flying back to Jacksonville, he stayed where he was at because he owned a little restaurant in there, and he got caught basically getting like a little lap dance from a young lady in there. That ain't go over too well to me. To me, right there, that didn't. You feel me? I don't fault him for that. Personally, I don't fault him for that, but some people do. Saying it wasn't showing professionalism, but we don't complain when the players be going to the strip clubs doing their things before and after games. So why you getting mad at the coach? You feel me? Because if he don't do it, the players still gonna do it, and they the ones out there on the field that got to perform. So I don't understand why you get mad at the coach. And even his wife said, you know what I mean? Old man wanted to let off some steam. So if the wife wasn't mad, like I said in the because we talked about this in a previous episode when it originally happened, me and Dane, like I said then, the wife wasn't mad, then why anybody else mad? It's none of our business. But uh, he got into a fight with a coach, they said, when his coaching staff, he called them trash. He called this coaching staff trash. Like come on. They say he also got into a fight with another player. It's like how many incidents he was gonna have before they finally released him. So the owner finally came out and said, you know what I mean, right after the story broke about him kicking the kicker, all right, we got to get him out of here. You know what I mean? They, the quarterback, he was like, he was happy he was gone because he was like, the situation was toxic. Like Urban Meyer was there wilding. My thing is, he's one of the plenty of college coaches that came from college that thought they was going to bring that same mentality to the NFL, and it never translated. Like you dealing with grown men making millions of dollars, making just as much money, if not more than you. Like you can't talk to them any type of way. You feel me? You just can't. Just can't. I'm surprised a player from all the stories you hear about him being disrespectful, uh, calling people out their names. I'm surprised a player ain't put their hands on him sooner than what they did. Because I mean, you're dealing with grown men. The shit shouldn't really fly in college too, being disrespectful and talking crazy to them, because those are young men. You feel me? Those are adults too. Treat them properly, but oh, NCAA is quite different than the NFL. The coaches got way more power in the NCAA than they do in the NFL. NCAA football is basically ran by the coaches. You feel me? Not the players. The players don't got much power. You feel me? Well, let me say even less power, because the NFL players don't got much power neither, because they don't stick together when it comes to their collective bargaining. You feel me? So that's why they be getting the short end of the stick all the time, because too many people on the team pay the pay ranges are so far apart that they can never stick together. That at least that's the excuse that they come up with and say all the time. So, but let's glad Urban Meyer out there. Hopefully his replacement, I can't think of his name right now. Hope get the stick. Nah, I mean they said in the story right here on Fox News, they said Urban Meyer calls out fragile coaches, players after Jaguars fire. So that tells me right there he learned nothing. He learned nothing. You feel me? He feel like it's everybody else's fault instead of him. You know what I mean? So here's a quote. I think college has changed quite a bit too. Just society has changed. You think how hard you pushed. I believe there's a greatness in everybody, and it's the coach's job to find that greatness. However you do that, positive encouragement, pushing them to be greater, making them work harder, identify flaws, and trying to fix them. Meyer went on to say he doesn't believe in blaming players and deny allegations made by former kicker Josh Lambo that the coach kicked him. Kicked him during warm-ups in August. He also said, I love Jacksonville. It's one of the reasons I took the job. Still think Chad's a great owner. It's heartbreaking. Blase, blase, blah. You feel me? So he's still not taking responsibility for his action. He said, okay, here it goes. Just what I wanted to say. I think everything is so fragile right now. That includes coaching staff. When I got into coaching, coaches weren't making this kind of money and they didn't have agents. Everything is so fragile where it used to be team. I remember talking about it in the staff meeting 3 days ago. I got into this profession because I had the greatest high school coach, and it was all about team, all about the huddle. Man, please. But then act like it. Act like it. Act like it. That's why you end up getting fired, because you weren't thinking about the team. You was thinking about yourself, to be quite honest with you. I want to say another thing, too. As a diehard Eagles fan, I want to say, fuck the Giants, quite honestly. I normally don't root for them bums. They beat the fuck boys. I call them the fuck boys, Cowboys. They beat them today. I mean, they lost to them today. I was rooting for them to beat them. You know what I mean? To keep us in the fight for the playoffs. You can't rely on the Giants. No midgets. They suck. You feel me? Cowboy fans, I hate y'all. Y'all are annoying. Y'all haven't did nothing in over a quarter century. Y'all still talking about y'all America's team. Y'all America's nightmare. I hope y'all lose the rest of y'all games. You feel me? So that's about it. Oh, before I go, let's talk about Anthony Day-to-Day Davis. I know I'm all over the place. But That's what I forgot. I want to talk about Anthony Day-to-Day Davis. Homie need to get it together. I don't know who his trainer is. You feel me? I blame Braun now. Now I'm blaming Braun because you the one that recruited old boy over there. He's been fragile. He ain't been right since Game 6 of the finals. People forget he got hurt in that game. He ain't been right since. He got hurt in game. He barely finished Game 6. He almost folded in the finals. People forget that. I don't forget that. You feel me? Like Braun had to bring it home in Game 6 because boy, listen, day to day, he was barely. That's why he was crying on the sidelines. He wasn't crying because they won the championship. He crying because he was hurt. You feel me? Fragile boy, paper mache ass boy. You know what I mean? Pissing me off now. I had high hopes for him. It was a point in time where Anthony Davis was better than Giannis. When he was better than Cat. Cat was bodying him the other night. Cat was making that man look like a young boy out there. You feel me? He was bullying, calling him a young boy, calling him a little boy. Are you serious, bro? Everybody keep talking about you top 5. Like, you ain't been looking like top 5. Feel me? It's like you got, and it ain't got nothing to do with talent. It all got to do with your fragile body. I get anxiety watching you play. You feel me? Every time you're on the court, like I get a case of anxiety. I start shit like, man, everything you always falling, stumbling over the place. Like, why you so clumsy? Feel me? Now you out for a whole month. When you come back, you're gonna get hurt again. You feel me? Got my boy Bron going outside his last couple years because he, feel me? If the Lakers were smart, listen, at this point, y'all got that ring out of him. Know what I mean? He ain't gonna never be the same. Trading. You feel me? Trading me. See if Philly will take me for Ben. You feel me? I'd rather have somebody scared to shoot a jump shot than not even being on the court. Can't even rely on this man to be on the court. Gotta be kidding me, bro. I'm sorry. I just had to go on that little rant. Try to be respectful. But boy pissing me off. You feel me? You gotta hang it up at some point. He gonna be one of the dudes that retire early. You feel me? I feel like he gonna fade out like T-Mac. Feel me? He gonna fade out like T-Mac. You know what I mean? T-Mac had that run. Once that back, that knee started messing with him, he was never the same after that. He was never the same. You feel me? T-Mac folded around like 30, 29, 30. T-Mac wasn't no superstar no more. And this how this dude is. Same way. Gonna be retired by the time he's 32. Watch. Get him out of here. All right. I'm sorry. You're pissing me off. Every time I watch him, he make me mad. So that was my rant. So we're gonna end it here. Y'all know what it is. Every other Sunday, the fans' perspective. It's your boy Smooth. Shout out to my boy Dane. He couldn't be here. He at work. We're gonna catch him. We might do a show next week. Too. Go back to back. You know what I mean? Because we gotta make up some weeks. Yeah, Sonny, I had to get that off my chest. You know what I mean? I had to get that off my chest, son. You feel me? I had to get that off my chest. Because he had me angry. The other night. The nigga got hurt twice. He got hurt twice that game. You feel me? First he twisted his ankle. You feel me? He had to go to the back. Get taped up. Come right back. Now it's his knee. Now he just like, come on, bro. Game before, same thing. Had to go to the back. Like, how you gotta go to the back every game, bro? Like, what is going on? Every time you go to the sideline, you grabbing something. Come on, Sonny. I was about to get up out of here. You gonna do that? I was just about to get up out of here. So y'all know what it is. This is GFT Network, GFT Radio. We bring you content. You see what it is. We got shows all throughout the week. Mondays, every Monday, 10 p.m. The main show. You know what I mean? The what they said. I forget the word how to use it, but this is the mainstay. You feel me? This what brought us here. GFT Radio Show. Tuesdays, you know what it is. How to Hustle Podcast with Hype. Don't call him Hype because he's not geeked up. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Every Wednesday, Styles and Chevy recap. You feel me? I might be on this Wednesday. Might be they doing Hawkeye. You know, that's one of my favorite. Just one of my favorite shows on the network. To be honest with you, it's one of my favorite shows on the network. Thursdays, Gaming with Styles. Every other Thursday, 10 p.m. You know, he be always on there. You catch him randomly just shooting people. You know, I don't even think bro be really doing the game properly. I think bro just be on there riding around shooting people and stuff. You know, 2 Fridays out of the month. Pardon me, my phone going crazy. 2 Fridays out of each month, you got Sunny, Sex with Sunny. Another one of my faves. I gotta get on there one time. I've been in the comments sometimes, but I gotta get on the show. That's my show. You feel me? Dope show. And like I said, us, the fans' perspective. Me and Dane. Sundays. It normally is every other Sunday, but we're gonna start doing it, ramp it up because we missed quite a few weeks. Normal times, 10 p.m. Come holler at us. Come holler at us. What you say, Sonny? Like at that point, football ain't for you. No, I ain't talking about basketball. I'm talking about Anthony Davis. You feel me? God forbid he step on that football field, Sonny. God forbid. God forbid. He'll be in the cast for life. Feel me? They'll paralyze him out there on that football field. His body is not made for that. Paper mache. You know what I mean? Man of glass. You feel me? Like, nah. Don't do that to him. Don't put that on him like that. Don't put that on him like that. Sunny funny. So y'all know what it is. Time to get up out of here. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at eTrentGroomy. Follow my blog at kingstruth.com. You can holler at us, GFT Radio Show, at gftradioshow.com. Cop the merch. It's in the links right there on the website. Holler at us. And we're gone. Hold up. One more. Sonny like, oh. Nah, we out of here, Sonny. Holla at me.